place. I think she had 3 trips to get the stuff she wanted. You and her boss said, I'm going for a meeting in East Lansing, I'll take a load for you. And she did. She brought a load. Dropped it off. And have a friend of hers. See this table?
It's wobbly.
Yeah, your Ted tried to find a way to fix it. He always went in before Joe, because Joe tried to get Jody up half the time when Jody was working there.
So what about rules and regulations?
What about it?
Yeah.
Oh, rules. I followed the rules. I was firm, did everything firmly. Okay, dining room's done. Now start over here. Okay, that's enough pictures, Mary. You go. She's taking pictures of me working. Boy, she's working for a change, is probably saying.
I'm learning how to dust.
Yes. Should have you come here when I'm doing spring cleaning. I do that slowly now. I don't do as much. Well, you have to be clean. He cooked, and so my dad came home one day and said, this house looks like a shit house. So I tried to clean upstairs for my mother too and stuff. And then he made a joke about Mary's like Auntie Roika. And my Auntie Roika, the one that brought them over from overseas, she was one like that, very clean. And he meant it as a slam to me, you know. She's like Mary Roika, and I felt like saying, you're the one that complained, not me. Complained to my mother that the house wasn't clean.
Oh.
And how could you keep it clean with 9 kids? She had 9 kids. They were all 18 months apart.
Yeah, she needed a servant.
Yeah, she never had. In those days, you did your own work. And then she worked in the garden, canned. We helped her as we got older, you know, from school. We'd come after school and we'd come home and peel everything for her. So she did. They really worked hard in those days. I'll have this done in a minute.
What is that?
It's unplugged.
Do you remember how this works, Sandy?
Nicole, tell her it's unplugged.
It's unplugged.
Oh, it's unplugged? Well, that's why it won't work. Just have to turn it on and it goes, you know, our little pictures
And
are in
those
here.
are all pictures of your children and grandchildren.
And we put it in a lot of pictures of you in here. Everybody said, Ted put the most, and he said, well, I kept telling them to send them. I put everything in that they sent. And he put some of his, you know. They thought he was using it all up. He's the one that got them started on it, isn't he, Sandy? Did you take up a collection and buy this together? I'm going around Sandy's books because they cover everything. You can't see them. Can't see the dust under them. Now don't forget to look at this recipe book before I put it away when you have a chance. The thing is, when you sit down, you don't want to get up again. That's the trouble. I haven't got much more to do.
You know, I could help you.
No. all I do is sit somewhere, and then you girls will say, all she does is sit and watch TV.
I could help you though.
No, you don't have to. You're visiting. You just,
Let me help you get up.
no, I'll get up, Nicole. You're not always here to help me. Even Bruce said, Beth Ann was going to come over and help me. And Bruce said, no, Beth Ann, she has to get up herself. And I said, that's true. You have to learn to get out of a chair, you know. If you don't, you'll be in a wheelchair. I don't want that. My two sisters ended up being in wheelchairs. Rose and Joe, and they both were so active all their life. I don't know. Aunt Rose rode bikes, did a lot of walking, even after she was older.
Why were they in wheelchairs?
Well, it ended up that she was falling and couldn't stand on her legs. And
The knees
Joe,
or the hips?
no, just I never found out. I asked Beth Ann. She was a nurse, and she said her legs just gave way. It's circulation. Believe me, when you get a certain age. They both died in their 80s. They didn't live till 90, but they died fairly. They lived quite well. And they're both, Joe stayed home until she had to go to hospice because she had cancer.
And tell me how old you're going to be.
Oh, not very much older than 95. You can quote me.
But you're turning 95 in a week.
Yes. My poor plant's dying. Gotta get a new one as soon as I see one. Look at, there's a couple new shoots on it right down there. See them?
Still alive.
Mm-hmm.
I could get you a plant.
No, I can get them, Mary. We're waiting for it till we find it.
Oh.
Sandy got this at Horrocks and at Myers. They haven't had this one in for a long time, so I'm waiting. I want to get the same one. It's all right for a few weeks. Did you see this, Nicole?
What?
This is Peter is Marianne's nephew. Graduation from high school picture.
Oh. Beautiful.
Oh, it's not beautiful, but that's how long ago that was. These are the Sandy family, and this, that's everybody knew. These are the ones I took out of my own black album because it fell apart. Maybe I'll come across. See, this is our mother's reunion. I think Rose made that. Remember I told you about Miss Zachariah, my sewing teacher? She took us on a trip. This was Belle Employees. Oh, we went to New York with her. Wasn't that nice? She took us. I went to the park. This is little Bruce, Rose's little boy. See? This is the Bruce I've been telling you about. This is Rose's two kids. They lived with my mother for a while, the three of them, because her husband was in the service. So you wouldn't know any. Sister and her cousin Leo were bridesmaids, and she was only 35, and they were bridesmaid for Helen's wedding, my sister Helen. I don't think I've gotten very many little pictures. These are all. Here's Rose's little Bruce. She lived with us, so we had the babies around a lot. She's not really a cousin because her mother and father were good friends with my mother and dad, and their name was Shulik too. but they weren't related. She did have brown eyes too, like Linda. And the other one's Beth Ann, and when they lived at my mother's house. Bright red two-piece bathing suit.
Bright red?
It was bright red. That was 1945.
Where were you?
We were at when I'd made the pin curls. That's what I did. I made pin curls when I curled my hair.
And who taught you how?
Pardon?
How did you learn how?
Oh, it's just easy. You just take a piece of hair and you go like this around your finger. It has to be wet first. Then you put the pin right through it. Bobby pins. We used to curl my mother's hair like that, and she didn't like it because she said, "Oh, it hurts." She didn't like it pulled. Here's my sister Jo. When she got married, they got married. Then if you couldn't get married in the church, you got married in the priest house. So they let her. I can't find those of me. There's Helen in the snow.
Tell me this one again about her.
She's an aunt that every time she got together with people for a party, they would have a couple of beers and then they'd all start singing. And she was the loudest. I don't think she was in a choir at all, but she could really sing. Nice. The kids were all little then. See here? I know I'll find that picture yet. I have to show you that because I always thought that was so funny. My sister Helen and her husband that I kissed as a bridegroom. I mean, as the groom.
That was their first of 13?
Yeah, first.
And who was that again?
That's my sister Eleanor and a boyfriend from Detroit.
Oh.
I went with her to see. She met him at the beach. They went to the beach a lot.
Is she having fun?
Yeah.
Stayed with Grandma. Look at the little puppy. I don't know whose it was. That was my best girlfriend. She and her husband both died young. Michigan Bell employees. I had a lot of pictures of them. And this is Aunt Rose's kids and Aunt Joe's too that she had. Aunt Joe got married after she did. Meeting her. Here I'm posing at the beach. This is when I met Dad. My hair was that long. It wasn't so long, was it? See if it says Grand Haven or Saugatuck on the back. Grand Haven, no, that's not. That's Grand Haven, which is near here, near Lansing. Fuzzy hair there. I bet that was after perm too.
Ice skating. That looks fun.
Here's my little doggy and me. This is I was only in the 8th grade, and I looked fully grown there. And that was my dog, Rennie. He was part collie and part police. He was red. Real
Police?
pretty dog. That was for your grandpa's. I kept him. He said, "Have you still got him?" And I said, "Yes."
What are they? Show me the envelope.
My favorite pictures.
Mary's favorite pictures.
He was from Erie, Pennsylvania.
And who was it?
And his name was, and listen to this. Don looked him up on the internet. He's passed away at 62. And his friend that had him write to me, he passed away, I think in... I don't remember this, Marianne, because I want to see a picture of Sandy when she made her first communion. This is Linda when she made hers. Who's under there? Somebody else made their first communion. Want to take that home?
My dad making his first communion.
Yeah. Isn't that nice?
He's so cute.
Made of 1964. 1962. Picture. She wanted it up in them sitting together. Yeah. We used to wear those kind of shoes, and we tried to get them for a party for this area. And you